So this video is going to be about you. I want to talk about, first of all, the British public, okay? How you feel about the royals and how important they are to you. And we'll mention a few of them by name. Then I want to talk about America MAGA folks, people who really are into this MAGA conspiracy, not necessarily Trump, but the idea that Trump brought to the front. And we'll talk about specific people in that. So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And thank you very much for I'm Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. Come with me. So I'm going to say for the British public, let's go right down the list. Let's talk about King Charles III. Let's talk about Queen Consort Camilla. Let's talk about Prince of Wales William and Princess of Wales Catherine. Let's touch on Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And let's try to find out what it is that the British people need from these people. That's what I'd like to know. And if those folks are up to giving it to you. Then let's turn the page and talk about the MAGA faction of voters in the United States. They came out for Donald Trump. He started that campaign, if you remember back in 2015, about let's don't be politically correct anymore. Let's don't be woke, what these people thought woke was. And what is it about those people that makes this kind of politics so appealing? And then we'll look at a few candidates that we can mention in there. And I'm thinking like the Lauren Boeberts, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Mitch McConnells, who will do anything for the power without any thought much of the consequences of what they're doing, it seems like to me. So that's what we'll talk about today, and I hope you like the video. Honestly, I haven't looked up exactly which people I want to really focus in on this, so I hope you'll hang with me. And I've had a struggle to kind of get my viewership up. I mean, I haven't come across that magic thing that makes people want to watch me. And can you tell me what it would be? What is it that you look for in the other readers that you're watching? Do they talk to you more than I do? Because frankly, I just try to do quick hits on the reading and not too much of me, because I don't know that I'm that interesting. But I'm thinking that maybe that's it, that the viewers need more conversation with me. Maybe not. Let me know. So I don't know. Doesn't it bother you? I wonder what's going on in the world's global consciousness. This issue that we're having in the United States with the racism, the fascism, the nationalism isn't particular just to the United States. I mean, it's going on all over the world. You can look into any government and see it happening there. And so what's going on in the world's global consciousness? Is this a change? Is this something we have to suffer through? Is this, what is it? So then number two, can United Kingdom's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak clean up the house, lead the nation from whatever caused Brexit toward some unifying strategy of what most Britons want and need? Can he get it accomplished? And then whatever it is it more guidance through COVID variants? Is it interest rate anomalies? Is it a stumbling economy? When the Brits wake up every day, what is it they say? Man, I just wish this was fixed, and can he fix it? Then King Charles and affecting the economy. Does he affect the economy? Should he affect the economy? I don't think he should, but does he? And is the compassion that perhaps the country felt under the Queen, is he losing that? Is the United States President Joe Biden too old and too slow in various ways, and could he be a better explainer? So I think we all look at him and we say, oh my God, is he going to even wake up tomorrow? Perhaps. I think I mean, I wonder about that. And so, who is it going to be? If it's not Joe, who? So that's the question. Well, not necessarily the question, but is he the one to lead through? We can't know who. And why doesn't the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland indict Donald Trump? And are the MAGA nut jobs by definition, okay? So, and is democracy in the United States, are we losing it? Is it dying? Is this a change? Is this democracy light coming up? Or, so what's going on there? So those 5 questions, we'll talk about that. Let me know what you think on the other side. So it does seem to me like there's lots going on in the world. I mean, not just where you are and where I am, it's everywhere. There's change happening. So what's going on in the world's global consciousness? Is there something that the cards can tell us? Is it a natural situation that we indeed have to go through? And gosh, I don't know. Is it going to get better? Don't you want to know that? Is it going to get better? Are we going to get to a place to where we're all working with each other in our own countries, in our own communities, and across the world? Are we going to find that somehow? I guess, why would I expect it? I mean, there's never been a time, I guess ever, but certainly in my experience, where there weren't evil countries. And what's happening to all of these countries with their, I don't know, their compassion being challenged? So what's going on in the world? Well, but before we do that, let's just have a moment, as usual, of meditation. So first question up is, what is going on in the world's global consciousness? What can the cards tell us about that? Can they tell us what's going on? Can they tell us it's the reason for it? Could there have been another way? Let's start with 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, what's going on in the world's global consciousness? Man, what kind of question is that? Signifier for this then is the Ace of Fire. So what's going on in global consciousness? And the signifier is the Ace of Fire. Fire are wands. Wands are actions, forward movements. Some could say change. So, and this is the Ace of Fire, just as big an offering of that situation of wands, of being something moving on. The Ace of Fire, burning up. What's going on in the world's global consciousness? It's on fire. Okay. The challenge to that is the 9 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords. So swords are truth, justice, rules, and law. Like I always say, you'll hear me. You can say it with me probably when I start saying it. So, and it's represented in this 9 of Air as all of these. Look at these peace doves just flying around, and it's usually a nightmare. But this deck, the Good Tarot, it represents to us that it's just a disturbance. Okay, it's a clutter. Okay, it's something to negotiate or to maneuver through or to consider. Okay, so normally that would be the 9 of Swords would be a nightmare. But in this deck, the Good Tarot, it's given us the opportunity to soften it up and say, it's a change. Okay, and that's kind of what I ask. What's going on in the world's global consciousness? And then the base of this whole thing with this 8 of Air, so that's the 8 of Swords. And so again, so we've got all of that truth just kind of falling off the side of the cloud and looking down and wondering, oh wow, How can I get out of here? What can I do? Can I make this work? So it's all about change that's happening right now. And in the past of this, with this King of Fire, well, it's great. So we have the Ace of Fire right here. This is the time that something's going to get done. Challenged by the Nine of Swords, the nightmare or the concern of it all. And then the past with the King of Fire is just, and look, he's got a very compassionate heart, this King of Wands. All right. So he's saying, yeah, this had to happen. We had to go about it this way. And the sky of this is the Star card. Okay, and the Star is compassion. It is fame. It's the spotlight being on you. And so I would say, what's going on in the world's global consciousness? This had to be brought out. This piece of consciousness had to have a light shown on it, and it has. The final outcome for the world's global consciousness, wow, is the world, in fact. So that is the complete end of a cycle and the beginning of something else. So great card to finish up with. The question is, what's going on in the world's global consciousness? It's a change. This is the end of something and the beginning of something else. And it seems to happen country by country by country. It's like a period of time when this all has to take place, and that's where we're at. Can the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak clean up the house, lead the nation from whatever caused Brexit towards some unifying strategy that most Britons want and need? And whatever that is, it's going to include guidance through COVID variants, interest rate anomalies, and a stumbling economy. So that's all, And throw in there that there could be war stuff going on with either Russia or North Korea, or even China with the Taiwan situation. Not to mention, all the bad countries around that just want a war anyway. So, can he clean up the house? All those politicians in the party. Let's do 3 cards. Can Rishi clean it up? Because it looks like our guys over here can't clean ours up. The people have to do it, actually, is what's happening here. And we're doing it slowly, election at a time. Can he do it? And look at this. The card that to lead this off is transformation. That's pretty amazing. It's spooky when I ask the question and the cards answer back so directly. So can Rishi clean up the house? And this person is causing this transformation. Look, she's breathed onto this dust and caused it, or these sparks, and caused them to fly off. Okay, the second card, the Ten of Air. So this is the Ten of Wands, and this is really just, it's a great big thing to manage. Everything's up in the air, and you've got to keep your eye on everything. And the Messenger of Air is, and those people, those other politicians, they are our messengers. So this is the Messenger of Swords, which would be like the Page of Swords. And so he can only encourage the conversation. The Page would bring an issue to court. It would bring a note to court, or an idea that someone says, here, King, Queen, Knight, someone has suggested this would be a good thing to do. Here it is for you, and leave it on their doorstep. And that's almost all he can do, but he has to be part of the transformation also. And then, can he lead the nation from whatever caused Brexit towards some unifying strategy? Can he figure out what most Britons want and need? Because I really believe that a people know how to overcome these issues so whatever problems government has caused for the people, as a person, you know how to negotiate your life to get around it, to make things work out more towards what you expect the government to do. And that's the same consciousness that the government needs to have. The government needs to have the people's, it needs to know, what do Britons want and need, because probably that's what's going to work. So, will he figure out what the country wants and needs? 3 cards. 1, he seems to be practical, pragmatic. A lot of people don't like him because of his very far right-leaning strategies sometimes, I guess. So, Can he figure out what the Britons want? 4 of fire. Fire are wands. The 4 of wands are smallish celebrations. Okay, so perhaps. The 4 of air, the 4 of swords, is knowing when to take a break. Look, take a rest and consider everything that's going on around you. So you're going to figure it out. The king of air, yes, he will. He will find the truth. He'll find the justice, it looks like here. So smallish celebrations, don't expect things to happen in a great big bang of a way. And because the key to the whole thing is being cautious about moving forward. But there's an assurance here that he'll find it with this king of it, the king of the truth, of the justice. So, and let's talk for a minute about the Britain's interest rates, anomalies, and the stumbling economy. Is Rishi going to be able to get those things under control? The interest rates and the economy. Interest rates and the economy. Britain. Is he going to figure it out? 3 cards. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. So is Rishi going to figure out the economy and the interest rates? Get those things fixed, man. That's it. Page of water. Okay, so as emotional as this whole thing is, he is still only the messenger. But then again, and I love it when the cards repeat, because that kind of tells me that they're understanding that I'm reading a card a certain way, and so now wherever this message comes from is saying, okay, we know how you're going to read this card and we can use it. Transformation. He has to be the transformation. And then and look at that, and again repeat. And you saw me shuffle the cards a number of different ways. So the 9 of air, so the 9 of swords is that it's not something. It requires a lot of thought and negotiation. But yes, he will be able to move it forward. King Charles, is he affecting the economy or losing the country's the compassion that I know I felt England had? I don't know for me that he's losing it as an American looking in. I don't know that he's making me feel comfortable in that regard, and probably has a lot to do with the rift with his son. So, and as a king, shouldn't you be the one to fix that, to get it straightened out? Let's end it now. Whatever that means, does it mean doing something hurtful? Does it mean setting the thing aside and waiting for experience to catch up with emotions? So is King Charles III affecting the economy? 1, 3 cards. 2, 3. Is King Charles III affecting the economy? The Ace of Water. Okay, so he's got a huge offer of compassion here. Look, this seahorse is cuddling this pearl. Okay, so yeah, he's holding the economy close somehow. And the king, and look, a king. And the king of compassion, the king of water. And then the final card with the hangman from a different point of view. Of course it is. So, do I have more than one card here? No. Okay, so is he affecting the economy? Yeah, look, he's got it cradled. Okay, it's just balanced in his tail. But he is there to be the king of compassion in this regard, having to look at the whole thing from a different point of view as what politicians might. Interesting. And is he losing the country's soul, I would say? Is King Charles doing anything that's contributing to, if anyone does have that perception of the soul of the country being less than it was before? Is he doing anything unintentionally, but is he? 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what's going on here. The soul. Queen of the Earth. Okay, so really the value of this thing is, so he comes at this with, this is a strong position. You would expect it to be the king of earth, and earth being pentacles, so value. And this is really grounding energy here. So, and then the 6 of swords, which is moving out of troubled water. And then the final card is, again, that 9 of swords is just the difficult machination that it is. So regarding the country's compassion, he's got a good solid grasp on the value of that, and moving it out of troubled water is a good place for a person's head to be, and understanding that it's a difficult maneuver. So we'll go to the United States, Joe Biden, and is he just too old? Is Joe Biden just too old and too slow? Or could he be a better explainer? Okay, so, or is he the one that we need right now? So what can the card tell us about that? Another 3 cards, I think. 1, 2, 3. Too old. Let's see. First one up is the 3 of Pentacles. Well, this is telling me something else altogether, because the Pentacles are value, and the 3 of Pentacles is working together with others to build something for public admiration or display. And so the first card we get for that as to whether he's too old is that there's a collaboration. And the fact that it's a collaboration and that it's 3 is interesting, because you have the president, you have the judicial, and you have the justice. So interesting. Not judicial, but the lawmakers, and the justice. So is he too old? It's a collaboration that makes everything happen. So in that respect, no. And again, the 3 comes up here in the 3 of water, 3 of cups. 3 of cups is typically a celebration, actually. And the fact that we're dealing with 3, again, those 3 parties, and all having compassion for the other. And the final card as to whether he's too old is this 8 of water, this 8 of cups. And it is kind of feeling as if you have to walk away from a lot of compassion. Is he too old? Too slow? Could he be a better explainer? It's a collaboration in the government, and for that reason, that's not that big of an issue. The compassion also is equally distributed amongst the 3 legs of the stool. But knowing when to walk away from something that is dear to you is what's happening here. And so this is that he needs to know, maybe it's time. Interesting. And then Merrick Garland on Donald Trump. Why doesn't the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland indict? Then I want to ask about the MAGA nut jobs, and is our democracy in the United States dying? But first of all, Merrick Garland, why doesn't he indict Trump? Can the cards even tell me that? 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Why doesn't he indict Trump? First card. 5 of Earth, so the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is really feeling left out in the cold. Feeling as if you're not quite being taken care of. Why doesn't he indict? I think he's not feeling like he has all the value that he needs. The messenger of Earth. So this is a page of, so there is a messenger of just that one more piece. And then the 8 of Earth is really practicing your craft and getting it down perfect. So not wanting to make a move until you got it right. So that's what it is. The 5 of Earth is telling us that there's one little piece that's kind of missing. And there's a message of it. Okay, there's something here that's telling you this is where you're going to find this. And it's just getting all of that practiced perfectly before you put your wares out to sell. That's why. Now, the MAGA folks, are these people, do they really? I don't know what to ask about them by definition. So we're asking that they be different, but I think just they were quiet before. And Trump said, look, I'll say it, I'll do it, So now you can come out of the closet, really, and say it and do it too. So these MAGA, are they nuts? I'm just going to ask it just like that. Are those the really dyed-in-the-wool MAGA people? Even if they're uneducated, what kind of a moral base does it take to participate in some of this stuff? So 3 cards. Are they nuts? Deficient in some way. The really core, they're very practiced. Okay? So this is something that somehow they've taken on as this is as important to them as about a job or as who they are, and they've practiced it, and they've got this down just right. This 3 of Swords is a broken heart. And that's how they felt. And this 6 of Water, this 6 of Cups, is wanting things to be the way they were in the past. Yeah, they are delusioned. Yeah. This is something that this way of thinking or being is something that they've just really obsessed over, practiced over and over. They've obsessed over this so much, and they've got a broken heart over it. And what is it? It's really wanting things to be the way they were, really wanting to go back 40 years. And is democracy for the United States dying? Not is it dead? Is it in the process? And you can revive something from dying. But is democracy, dying here in the U.S.? The cards are a little sticky. Not sticky, but they're glossy, and so the static electricity between them makes them want to not move together really slowly. I should have shuffled them a bunch before I started, I think. But now, here we are on the last question. So, is democracy for the U.S. dying? 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. Is democracy really actually dying? Well, no, there's a transformation. It's the temptations of look at this, the apple and the money. Look at this, just really so it's that being changed to lesser intentions, kind of, and then the Page of Air, just the message of a truth or a justice. Is democracy dying? Well, there's transformation, no doubt, and it's accompanied by this temptation. Okay, this really being changed to something of a lesser intention, and not quite the devil. And then this Page of Air, which is Swords. So this is just a message of a truth. It's changing, it's not dying. So that's what I've got. And that was pretty deep. So that was the reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you agree with the way the cards came out and what I thought about them. And if you didn't, let me know about that. And what is it that makes you watch other readers or other channels? What do I need to do to convince more people to watch me like you're watching me? What made you think that, hey, I'll watch this guy a few times? That'd be a big help. Hey, I'm going to show you the cards now. Hang on. So this is the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. These are great cards. They come in a really nice box. It's kind of substantial. The guidebook that comes with them is useful. It talks about all the cards, It's got some good ideas for divination, and it's easy to read. So that I like. The cards themselves are nice cards. I mean, they're sturdy. They've got a beautiful back. They're a little glossy. They're kind of biggish, but not difficult to use, at least not for me. And you can see, again, the art on these cards just goes from right to the edge of the card, and there's lots of beautiful stuff here to see. So I do this to kind of mix the cards without damaging them, and to give you an opportunity to look at them if you don't look at cards very much. You know, not everybody goes out and buys tarot cards or has a chance to flip through the deck. So that's kind of a little preview of what's in these cards. These are the Taracho, not Taracho. These are, as a matter of fact, who puts these out? I have forgotten completely. So, don't know. Hay House. So not a brand that I see very often, but nice cards, and I really love using them. Well, I'm Mark. This has been my journey through tarot. I'll be doing it again tomorrow if you want to go, so stop on by. Ciao for now. 1, 2, 3. You really make a big difference. Thank you.